is the latest dispatch just received in our newsroom.
Let me show you something.
Hey, how's it going? So, once again, it is that time of year where I go through my fingerboard collection. However, this time it's going to be a little bit different compared to last year. So last year I went through everything in its entirety. This year, I think I'm just going to do the decks. Because when it comes to obstacles, I really didn't come into anything, like not too many obstacles that you can't really get anymore, that were like limited edition kind of thing. So I don't know, I didn't want to make a new video with basically like just the same stuff as compared to decks, where compared to last year I got a lot of decks. I'll just show a few obstacles that I came into that I think are really cool. But first, let's clarify on a few misconceptions. No, I do not sell. No matter how many times you ask, I do not sell. If I do start selling anything, I won't be quiet about it. I'll make a video about it, a post, or something. I wouldn't do it secretively, is what I mean. Number two, one of the biggest changes from last year is I have traded. It is still very unlikely that I will be doing trades, but that's not entirely off the table. But it's still about a 99.9% chance it ain't gonna happen. Another thing that I hear a lot is, oh, you buy the entire stock, that's why everything's sold out. No, I don't. A lot of my orders, they are custom orders, so I don't take away from the stock because I think ahead. If they're willing to make me a custom order, I'll place a big custom order. That's the way it's been, unless it stock drops, like these ones, in which case I post the unboxings. You see I only get one, maybe two of any one deck. Most of the time it's, I gotta put one of each, check out, and then gonna get, because these ones sell out quick. Long story short, I am not the reason why you can't get anything. If that's what you have to tell yourself at night, then fine, happy to help you out. So yeah, a lot of these companies, I do have their unboxings on my YouTube channel. The link to their Instagram and their website, for the most part, is going to be in there. If they don't make decks anymore, then, well, it is what it is. So the way that this year's fingerboard collection video is going to go is, for the most part, it is all in alphabetical order. Except for the A's and B's. The A's and B's, they're getting a little wonky because I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I kind of have a thing of collecting specifically two companies. Both start with B. I don't know if you've heard of these companies, but they're Beast Pants and Berlinwood. So those companies are my favorite part of the collection, and so they're going first. And also I have a good feeling that's what a lot of people are going to want to see. So after Berlinwood, after Beast Pants, then it's alphabetical order for the most part. There may have been some mistakes. Hopefully I catch them while I'm editing the video, in which case I hope that I can kind of stitch it together to make it look good. So if you really want to see a specific deck company, I guess just hop around the video. Eventually you'll find it. So before we start, pause the video, go get you some food, get you something to drink. It's gonna be a long one. Let's check it out. And for starters, we're going to visit this, what I've been calling the menagerie, where I keep all the Beast Pants that I have. Oh yeah, going forward, these are all different graphics. I do have, as a lot of people have seen, I do have multiples. I just have them sitting off to the side. I don't feel like showing doubles or duplicates of graphics that I may have. So to keep the video like as short as possible, even though it's going to be a long one, I'm just showing one of any one graphic that I do have. Unless there are multiple colorways, in which case to me they're different graphics. So yeah, let's begin. Beast Pants. We're going to start off with the Baby Shark. This is one deck that I've been looking for a very long time. Super happy to have it. Here's some other baby beasts that I do have. So here's a few Beast Pants decks that I do have set up. And this one right here, it is my girlfriend's. I took the wheels. I needed them. Don't tell anyone. This one right here is one of the welcome decks. For the life of me, I cannot find the other ones that I have, so Portal will have to carry it all. So now we're moving on to the split plies. Pretty sure one of the biggest reasons y'all are here. One row down. Oh yeah, something about that row. You saw how they were all split plies on the bottom. The majority of them split plies as well. I didn't feel like flipping the decks around, but yeah. If you've ever gone in my Instagram live, I do bust these out because people like seeing them. Split plies continued. These are going to be the first stripes that I have that are split plies. So here's this pants logo right here. It is a split ply, but I guess whoever had it before me drew some triangles all over it. This one, there is a split ply underneath. These next ones, they're RealWear graphics, but they do have a split ply underneath the graphic. These next few are going to be different collabs, which I guess they could have gone into different section, but I like grouping them up with the Beast Pants. That's a Battle of the Beast 2. This is another Battle of the Beast collab. And this is another Battle of the Beast collab. So yeah, the split plies, they have grown since last year when I did this video, and those are just the open ones. But before we get to the package, I do have a ton of RealWear graphics that, yes, I do set them up. Yes, I have used a good chunk of these. No, they're not just sitting around collecting dust, but they do that too. I only have 2 hands, so they collect dust with style. Actually, I'll start with these ones because these are pretty cool. Back in 2016, there was an event called the Big Chill, and that's where these came out. Here are the Pro Model decks that I've managed to get a hold of. Here are the different flavors of fur stripes that I have. How'd 2 brain sunnies get there? Out of all the fur stripes, the undead fur stripe, my favorite. Up next are going to be the different beasts. Here are going to be different smoking cats. Those ones, those are 2 out of the 6 of the FBS smoking cats. This squid maid right here, I want to say it was a prototype. Same with this one. It kind of has like the same graphic application thing to it. I don't know. I think it's cool. So now for the stuff that is still in the package that I'm working my way to getting to, but like I said before, I think I'm doing fine. Those axolotls, they do have the top fur stripe as well. And the last thing I have for Beast Pants is going to be Ned's Tomb. So yeah, that's the main chunk of the Beast Pants collection. Of course, leaving out as many duplicates as I could. I think I saw like 1 or 2. But yeah, I did my best to get out all the duplicates. So let's keep the momentum going. We're going to jump into my other favorite company to collect, which is going to be Berlin Woods. I did kind of mix in Black River with this Berlin Wood section because some of the decks that were like Black River Berlin Wood collabs became Black River decks, and then vice versa. So I was like, I'm just gonna put them all together. Let's start off with the setups from Berlin Wood that I have. So I have this Ruben Young deck. Super interesting shape. Here's a Instagram split. And these are going to be the Black Rivers that I have set up. This is the main one I use right here. And I guess we'll just go with the Black River decks and then go into the Berlin Woods. So these ones I know you've seen me unbox. There are some of my first uploads, these Black River decks. Well, not this one specifically. And then here's some of the limited edition Black River decks that I picked up. This one right here is the most expensive fingerboard I have ever seen. So now let's get into the split plies, limited releases, special releases from Berlin Wood. So we'll start off with pretty much, I don't know, one of the most iconic ones, which is going to be the Elias Asmith. This one is going to be the second wave of decks when they came out. And then here's the revival that came out earlier this year. There's a lot of them. I'm just going to kind of go through them pretty quickly. This one is a 1 of 1. This one has the skull on the top. This one right here was a special edition. This is going to be 1 of 3. 2 of 3. 3 of 3. These do have the top skull as well. This one is signed by Timo, 6 of 20. And this one's signed by Martin. This is 4 of 20. This one's signed as well. This was like the Easter special or something like that. This one right here was prototype number 1 of this. So that's pretty cool to have. It's of the 7-ply, the Power Pop. Next are going to be the compass ones. This one does have some coordinates. These 3 right here, they were pressed upside down in the mold. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Nearing the end. This one is signed by Timo, 5 of 20. Also signed by Timo, 6 of 20. And then the rest in my hand is just some of these Wu-Tang splits that Timo's made. I'll show them real quick. Got quite a few of them. Another one of those Instagrams. Has the same thing on the top. This one's signed as well. 23 of, I think it says 25. And I'm guessing that's Nash's signature right there. Here's number 13 of 25. And number 1 of 25. Probably the deck that means the most to me. If you remember from my last video, you know what this one is. It's the prototype of that Griffin gas deck. Same Black River version that I use. It is on a Berlin wood, was screen printed, I guess just to see if the graphic would fit. This is one of only a few. I think it's between 3 or 5. Between 3 and 5 of these were made. Oh yeah. And then we got this thing right here. This is how the Berlin woods used to be given away at like events and stuff. So that's pretty cool. All that's left for the Berlin woods are going to be from my Berlin wood history mystery adventure. I should just replay that old clip of me going through all of them. No, I'm not going to do that. Do it again. This one right here is pretty much what started the whole history mystery thing for me. This one's a different color, but I really like this color. And that was the Berlin wood side of the collection, at least as far as 2023 goes. And I'm gonna buy some more. So before I get into the main chunk of the collection, I did want to bring a few obstacles out because there really won't be any room for them when I'm going through everything. So this one right here is made by Bonk. It's really long, has a quarter pipe on one side and the little up ledge on the other. There's the back. Here's this side. There's the front. And this side. And underneath. And from the top. This thing is really, really cool. The other obstacle I wanted to bring out is going to be this mini ramp right here. This is made from recycled skateboard. And it is made by Goo Fingerboards. This thing is really, really cool to look at. It's fun to use. I also have a little kicker made of recycled skateboard. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess I should rotate this thing. So before we go to these, this was a collab with ASI Berlin. The decks were made by Bobbin Woods. So I'll show these real quick. They came in this little case right here. I think it's cool. Just a few little things before I get into, clean off the table just to make it cluttered again. So yeah, time to change the table. So now it's gonna be for the main, I guess, other companies and stuff that is part of the Fingerboard collection. Oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot to go through. So this section right here, it's going to be mainly in alphabetical order. I did do my best to make sure to, line everything up, organize everything. That way nobody gets left out. But I mean, I wouldn't doubt that there was 1 or 2 decks that decided to play hide and seek. And if that's the case, then I don't know. I guess maybe next year they'll show up. But we will be starting with ancient fingerboards. So there's this graphic. I can't remember this one. I think it was Zeus. And this one right here is going to be Poseidon. Up next is going to be antidote fingerboards. So we have the skull. I think this one is called It's either the skull or the cat skull. It's one of those two. The mushroom and the needle, green. So up next is going to be Antic. This one I did have set up for quite some time. This one actually glows in the dark. This one was from stock 1. And then here's this one right here, which is going to be like a cruiser shape. This was a test shape when he did make this one. Here is an awful deck. I only have the one, and I had it set up for quite some time. And here's a Beto fingerboard. Up next is going to be a company that's been around for a while, but not in my collection. And it's going to be a few more boss decks. Two main reasons I like this one is it's purple, and it's a boss deck that I won't feel bad about setting up because all the other ones I have are collabs. And it has this really nice dark blue top ply. And speaking of collabs, here is a Cowply and Boss collab. What's really cool about this one, other than the colors on it, it's number 4 of 12. Up next are going to be a few decks that I have from Bellini decks. So this was the main one that I used for quite some time. Up next is going to be a board from my sponsor, which is going to be Blossom. Up next is going to be a company from El Paso, Texas. It's going to be Bone Shard. This one was thrown in when he made that rack for me. And up next is going to be the person who made that really cool quarter pipe with the upward ledge thing. It's going to be Bonk. And I'm going to start off with something really cool. So this split ply was made in 2017. It was made with the Bondo mold, so pre-sofa mold. This one does have a carbon fiber top ply. This one 603 gave to me, and this is the one I have currently set up. Up next are going to be a few box lunch decks. This one is the collab with Cowply that I got at Booze. Up next are going to be bridge decks. This is one of the more recent ones. This is going to be a collab with Fingerboard Connoisseur. And here is the one that I have set up. Up next are going to be a few broadcast decks. This one I did have set up for a while, and then it got ran over by my chair. Up next is going to be the one Brewski Builds deck that I do have. Up next are going to be decks from Caramel. And we do have that one Caramel complete that I picked up from my daughter. She likes it. And up next is going to be a fun one. It is going to be the Catfish Barbecue Time. With that Stormcloud one, I don't know how I came into 3 extra copies of it. The first one, 603 gave me as a gift, and then somehow I just came into more of them. This one right here is a 1 of 1. This one is going to be a Cowply collab. This one is signed on the top ply. And I also have a few of these 2-dogger ones. So I have 2 that's in black ink, 1 in blue ink, and then this black one with white ink. And then this one right here is going to be like, I think it's a paper graphic of the invasion, which I think is pretty cool. These are going to be some very recent ones. It's going to be the Earl graphic. And here's this one, which came out in 2014. It was a very limited drop. This one right here is going to be 3 of 4. Super, super happy about that one. And here's some that I have set up. And then we have the stock 1 radioactive fish split ply. Super, super cool. And that was the barbecue. Up next are going to be chems. This one right here was a gift from 603. Here's one side of the Goo and Chems collab. There's the other side. I met these 3 What's cool about this one right here is the first order I placed with Chems, he had gifted me a skateboard with the Cobra graphic, and it was this matching one. So it is really cool. Yeah, I still have it from, I think this was like the first order that I had placed when I got back into fingerboarding with, like, you know, some professional fingerboards. Still got it. Up next are going to be decks that I have from Silvermade. That was a joke. I actually only have this one right here, which was a collab with Abducted Fingerboards. Up next are going to be a few decks that I have from Close Up. So I did get these a long time ago. And here is a magenta collab. I still lose sleep over choosing the magenta boards over that coffin curb. Been like well over 10 years. Here's a deck that I do have from Clyde. Up next is going to be Collinswood. Oh, that was a bit of... Up next is going to be Cowply. Funny story. As of the recording of this video, I have more Cowply collabs than I do actual Cowply decks. That is going to be changing soon, and I am super hyped about it. I really like this graphic right here. I think it's called Editorial. Here is a collab with All Cap Studio. This one I got from Vooz. This one he gave me while I was at Vooz. This one I did not get at Vooz. I did get at the Flatface store though. This one I think I got on eBay. This one I had set up for a while, and this is the current Cowply setup. Up next are going to be decks from Darkwood. This has a really cool top ply. It does have Leatherface on the top ply. And this is the one that I do have set up. And then here is this Digit and Oof collab. I have one deck from Devise. This is going to be the one I got at Vooz 33. It is number 6 of 13. This is from Dead Moon. They are actually a local deck maker here in San Antonio. Here are some Deadwood decks. Here's some still in the packaging. Here is a deck from Decatur. Here's a December deck. Here's the blue one. And here is a Delhi collab with Purple Mountains. Here's some dirty fingerboards. Well, fingerboards. This is from that graphic wheel that they made. Life Lately, Abducted collab, Fingerboard Connoisseur collab. I even have the engraved grip tape on it. This one's just a blank, but this was a prototype when they first started making boards. Here's this Ill Pills Life Lately collab. This one I think is what they gave with random orders when you ordered the wheels when they first came out, those Life Lately ones. Same thing with this one and this one. These are more prototypes. They're just blanks. They're called trial decks. I forgot. They didn't call them prototypes. They called them trial decks. Here's the Rainbow Bricks Slush Cult collab. And the one that I have set up. And I missed one. There's this Ill Pills Life Lately graphic. Here's some DK decks. This one right here is a Fingerboard Connoisseur collab. Here's some setups that I have. This one I did learn nollie flips into grinds with. So that's pretty cool. And then here's some completes that I got off the website. I guess we really like that ice cream cat. And here's some Slush Cult collabs. Up next are going to be a few Doom Lagoon decks I have. These are going to be those Exoplies. And then I have this one right here that I won at Fingerboard for Fun back in January. Here are some decks from Double Joint. When it comes to Double Joint, I do have quite a few duplicates triplicates of certain graphics, so I just pulled one of each graphic out. Double Joint and Doom Lagoon collab, different variation, different variation. Here's some customs that Kyle made for me. This one's still one of my favorites. And then we got a diamond. And speaking of customs, he did make me this one right here. This is going to be a 1 of 1. It is the Gucci David 2.0. Here is the first Gucci David, and here is the current Gucci David 2.0. This one right here is the Dream Trick collab between Kyle and Kyle. This one right here was a limited run. I think it was only available like for Halloween and the day before or something like that. This is a 1 of collab with Famous. This one right here was one of the, I can't remember what they're called, but they're the limited 1 of 5 with the top graphic. Here is a collab with Fingerboard Connoisseur. These ones, the carbon fibers, they were on Fingerboard Connoisseur's website. And that is all the double joints as far as you know. Next is going to be Ducky Decks, or Duck Decks. So there was a series of these little crystal ducks, and she said to collect them all. I took it as a challenge, and I have them all. Well, at least one of them all. One of each. And then I think this was the first one that I got a hold of. I might be holding it upside down. Along with this one. But this is like the main one that I wanted, which is that Medusa head. Here's some Dumb 1 decks. Here's a deck from Dynamic and the one I have set up. Here's a deck that I have from Elastico. This one's from Earl. Famous, who is up next. Just because I think it would be weird if I did it out of place, I am using the Raspberry one. This one right here was the first 1 of that I got from last year. And that one was number 1 of 10. This one's a DK collab. Here's another one of, well, the other half of the Double Joint and Famous collab. And then before I had set up that Scully, I was using the Soul. This one got beat up pretty bad. But yeah, epic shape. I love it. Up next are going to be Finger decks. I don't know why that other worm wanted to be special and go first. But there you go. The green one went first. And I do have 2 decks from Finger Everything. This one I did use quite a bit, and then I did want to keep one with just their logo. These next decks, they're going to be from Finger Industries. And then this is the one that I've been using for the longest time. And then here's some decks that I do have from Fingerspace. Here is 5 Luck. I have 2 decks from Fizzy. I wonder why I haven't set this one up yet. And then there's this really cool split ply. And these are from Fisheye. And then this one comes in a cool little box. It's got this bird. So up next are going to be some flat-face decks. I did get a bunch of them. And my original plan with these 10 right here is when I got to 1,000 subscribers, I was going to do a giveaway. And I was going to give away 10 flat-face decks. However, when I got them, this one looked just fine. But then more and more, they just started coming with like bubbly graphics. This one right here is like super faded. So I decided I'm just going to hang on to them. I'm sure at some point I'll figure out what to do with these, but I just would have felt weird giving them away or sending them to, you know, wherever they are. So I don't know. I'll figure something out with them. Because the middle plies, they look amazing. The middle plies, they look amazing. So that's what's the deal with these Zeph graphics. So now onto decks that I guess they're not blems. Here's this purple. It's a G15.12 that I got while I was at Booze. Here's this yellow banana slip. Here's this yellow banana slip, but it has like a little bit of the pink going on. I think this was, I wouldn't say it was a blem, but it was like an error because it's not supposed to fade like that. And then I have a few of the pink banana slips, but what's different about them is they have a different colored shield. So that one was pink. This one is black. This one is white. And then I somehow came across these SpongeBob ones. I do have multiples of them, but I'll just save the time. And then here's that Bones collab. And then this one I grabbed off the website. Actually, no, I grabbed both. I got a G12 and a G15. Well, a G15.12 and a G15. I did grab one of each on the website. And then here's some loose decks. So here's that whale graphic that I used for a while. Here's a banana slip. Here's a G15 that I bought from Kelsey. These next two graphics are really cool. At least they're really... One, they are really cool. Two, they're really, really cool to me because one of the first subscribers to my channel let me have these. Well, he was selling them and then he was like, oh, if you want them, they're yours. Here you go. I was like, no. I'll pay for them. It's cool. He was like, no, it's cool. It's great. It's fine. I want you to have them. And then he sent these over. And then here is this Bones collab that I was going to set up at some point. But one of the newest additions is this one right here. I'll start with the top ply because it is signed by Harry, however you say his last name. But it's one of the finger graphics. This is a newer version of the ones that I remember from a long time ago. So it's pretty cool to have that one. Up next are going to be some flints. And then here's this eggy one. And the one that I have set up. And here is the last one that I almost forgot about. And up next are going to be decks from Flock. You're never getting this one back. Not letting you fix it. So as you can tell, he does some really cool split plies. I say as I show the one blank. I think I did the exact same thing last year. And then here is the first Flock deck that I set up a long time ago. And here is the one fresh baked fingerboard that I have. And here's some decks from Fire fingerboards. They're just doubles of the Elemental series. Here's a Gallo fingerboard. I thought that I had another one, but I guess I only had the one. Let's move over to Genius. So here's one that I had set up for a little bit. This was the first Genius deck that I got. Here's some that I haven't opened yet. And then this is the one that I have set up and have been using. And here are some Gibby decks. This is a Gibby Caramel collab. Here's this really cool Robots in Space Gibby deck. Here's one deck that I have from Goat on the Road. And up next is going to be another long one. This is going to be Goo Fingerboards. Let's start off strong. Here is the first Slush Cult collab. And then here's some of the second ones. They were on the Little Devils, or the Devil Sticks. I forget what they're called. Then here's the Foil Dragon. With this one, I have the matching skateboard, orange top ply and all. Here's both sides to the Have a Nice Day graphic. I actually got it twice. Here's this one that I used for quite some time. And the one before that. And the one before that. The one before that. The one before that. This is the first Goo deck that I had set up. It's the Gorsaw. Here's one of these little ones that I got from David Ware. I think I got this one on eBay. And here's this old Goo split ply that has some recycled skateboard at the bottom. And here is the goo deck that I have set up currently. Here's a deck that Alan Dean or Grind Fingerboards made. I really like this one. I thought it was really cool. I think this is what started like the high kicks, deep concave. But this is a 1 of 1. So it's really hard for me to like set up and consistently use. So right now it's taking a break. Here's one from Grow Fingerboards. Here's a 1 of 1 from Grow Fingerboards as well. We have this helm deck. And here is this helm deck. Here's the blue smokestack from Homewood. Here's this Homewood. That one is a hand-drawn graphic. Here's one of the older hand-drawn graphics. Team badge. The other team badge in green. Fish lips. I have no idea why all of a sudden I started saying the names of the graphics. I'm gonna stop doing that. I didn't do it for any of the other ones. Fish lips. I know what I said. And the other one, I called this one the Knight, but I think this one was actually called Honor. And those are my Homewoods. Next are a couple of decks from Guai Guai Chai and House of Decks. Here's the one idle deck that I have. Iloaf. So I have this one that I opened from IP Toys. But I do have this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. Here's I9. Here's Gem. It is a Gem and Caramel collab. So is this one. Now on to the Ks. And we start off with Collier, Camel Pro. Here's some decks from King Kala. This one's a collab with Fingerboard Connoisseur. This one is also a collab with Fingerboard Connoisseur. Here's some knife decks. This one is going to be a dark blue. This one's teal. Here's some decks that I have from Lakewood. And this one right here is a Lakewood graphic on a Beast Pants deck. I thought that was pretty neat. Here's some Fingerboard Connoisseur collabs. Here's a deck that I have from Lao. I do have this one set up. I was messing around with it not too long ago. Here's the Loompa Fingerboards. My friend Loud Cloud. I have 2 decks. This one, I think he said glows in the dark. And then we got this Watermelon. Here's the Love Drug, Lucid, Lucky, Maze Fingerboards, Mackenzie. I guess technically this one's Sweet Revenge. Here's one that's Sweet Revenge as well. Up next is going to be a fairly new company, at least to me. But I've been liking these decks a whole lot. It's going to be Milk. Here's the one that I have set up. Here is the Half and Half. I'm doing the names again. Welcome Home, Milksicle 1, and Milksicle 2. These ones came in today, so they made it into the video. Up next is going to be Milkshake. So I'll start with the one that I have set up first. Space Pals. So let's move on over to Moods. This one right here is a 1 of 1. Here's some Mortuary. Here's some Muck Fingerboards. This one had a really cool top lie. Here's some Noah Wood decks that I first got from Amazon when I got back into fingerboarding. These are Noah Yang. This one has like the flower engraving on the top ply on that one. Here's the Obsui FB. A lot of y'all do ask about it. Yes, I still have the purple chonk. So next are going to be a few decks from One Hand Skate. On a lot of them, they do have something drawn on the top ply as well. Onfo. Here are going to be some Peak fingerboards. This is the current one that I'm using. Little baby Peak. Some Nose Go collabs. This one right here is the 2-year anniversary happy birthday deck. And here's a bigger version of that baby one. And if you thought it was over, think again. I still have some in packages. So up next we have Planktoon. I got one Planktoon deck, one Plenty of Chips. This one's made by Popo UK. My one Preet deck, the first 6011 mold. Got a couple P-Reps, some Pro FB. Still not set up. Here's some decks that I used a long time ago. These are going to be Pro Wood. It's a Q deck. This graphic is called Cupid and Goliath. Up next are going to be some raw decks, and they were drawn by Chuck61. This one I did get from a charity fundraiser. Here's a deck that it's a raw Vsauce deck, but it was drawn by Stinky Fingers. And this is another deck that I got from the charity fundraiser. Up next is Redemption. Got the one deck from Redemption and one deck from Risen. Here's a deck that I do have from Rook. Here's a few decks from Sage. Here's a sample deck. These two are going to be collabs with Sem and Caramel. Here are some decks from Shrout. That one has a really cool top ply. Here are some simple fingerboards. This one right here is going to be collab with Fingerboard Connoisseur. So is this one and this one. Here's going to be a Skowood deck. This one I did get a very long time ago on eBay. And here's another one. And here is a Skull fingerboard. Here's another one. This is going to be a Snake House deck. Up next are going to be a few split plies, like the brand split ply that I picked up from someone's collection. So here's a few Sorry decks that I have. This is going to be SF2. Here's a Slush Cult collab. Good Vibes collab. Here's Soya Skate. This one right here glows in the dark. This is Spark. And they are going to be a Caramel collab. So up next is going to be Stacked. So we'll start off with this one right here. This is going to be 2 of 5. It was like a test shape or something like that. That one is a split ply. And so is that one. Up next are a few Stinky Fingers decks. This one right here is a collab with Freestyle Fingerboards. This deck right here is from Subliminal. This is the Sunday Company. Here are some decks from SX. These are going to be Guai Guai Chai collabs. Here are going to be decks from Toe. Here are going to be some decks from Teak. This was my first fingerboard coming back in. Here's a few decks that I do have from Tech Deck. I actually have a bunch of them, but I mean, you get the idea. This one was my first Tech Deck. I have that open one. I have the sealed one. I'm all good on that copycat graphic. This one right here is going to be Series 1 when they first started doing the wooden fingerboards. And this is when they started adding concave to the wooden decks, which was wild. Here's the silver DGK. This is from a Performance Series pack. And I think this is from the same thing. Here's some decks from Third Eye. And this one is set up. Some decks from Toasted. Here's some decks from TP Decks. This is a custom that she had made for my daughter. This one's the Enderman, and this is the Mermaid Chef from Overcooked. And this one is my current setup from TP Decks. So now we'll go through tricky fingerboards. Here's some decks from UAG. Unique. Here's some Upward 1. That concludes Upward 1. So up next is Vivid Wood, and I just separated the duplicates. I did try different molds, different sizes, but here is this one right here that is currently set up. Here's a complete I have of Wicked. Here are some Woodhouse decks. Here's a complete that I got from the website. These three right here are the constellations of me, my girlfriend, and my daughter. Here's some collabs with Little Red Riot, Yellowwood. Here's some Yokono. This is the one that I have set up. This one right here is a prototype. Here's some decks that are still in packaging. These ones right here are just duplicates. I do have two Zoom decks. They're both going to be the same kind of split ply though. Up next are going to be 129 decks. We got the B-Sock split ply, the second version of it. One of the only pretties I'll get, Flint, His Majesty, Hockey, and one of the first decks that he made with the paper graphic. Here's 22. Well, 22 decks. It is a single deck, it's not 22 decks, that's just the name. One from Six Gates, another one from Six Gates. I am not sure. I have no idea what this one is. And I don't think this is a tech deck. But Jody gave me this one. Here is a Good Vibes collab, but I cannot remember who made it. And this technically is a fingerboard. Oh yeah. This is a catfish deck that should have been with the other catfishes. So that was this year's collection video. Hope you enjoyed it. So that was probably one of the biggest fingerboard collections up on YouTube at the moment. Everything I had from Ancient to Zoom, even with the names that had numbers in them. I don't know where you put them. I put them at the end, and that's just the fingerboards. Wait until I do the ramp video. Just kidding, I'm not doing that one. If you want to see the ramp one, watch the one from last year. Not much has changed since then. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. As usual, I'll have the link to my Instagram down in the description below, so you can stay up to date with whatever I have going on. And yeah, I usually post fingerboarding first on Instagram. But that'll do it for now. Take it easy. Have a good one.